500 years ago, a Portuguese explorer by the name of Ferdinand Magellan was the first explorer to circumnavigate the globe, solidifying the fact that the Earth was indeed round. 277 men aboard 5 ships embarked on an incredible voyage that would last 3 long years. In March of 2014, modern-day marine scientists and explorers will undergo a modern Challenger mission involving 16 global-class underwater gliders across 5 ocean basins, covering a total of 128,000 kilometers. These gliders will be equipped with technology to sample real-time data such as temperature, salinity, and currents. From there, we can analyze our current capabilities of forecast models and improve our forecasts for the future. Unfortunately, it's not going to be easy. Such a complex task requires more than just a team of marine scientists and explorers with a dream. There are plenty of problems, hazards, and dangers that lie ahead of us. We spoke with several aspiring scientists and students of Rutgers University to understand some of the problems we may encounter on our vast journey.
It's really important to understand the policy of different countries because there's a lot of dangers that could go wrong during these battle missions, which we're going to discuss later on in this newscast. If anything is to go wrong, we need to have partners that can help us go out in the ocean and retrieve our gliders. Specifically here, there's a regional maritime university in Ghana that we can partner with, and also the Maritime Academy in Nigeria. But going off of that, in this day and age, terrorism is a very crucial topic. And in 2007 in Mali, which is up here, there was a string of rebellions that have been going on. And back in January 2013, just a few months ago, the French actually intervened to try and help out with that. And other countries, including Ghana and Nigeria, have also sent troops in. And as of this month, most of the rebellions have been stopped, but there still is a few isolated incidences around the country that we should be aware of. And in Cameroon, there's an organization called Boko Haram that has been performing a bunch of terrorist attacks in Nigeria. So if you are to go to either of these countries, it'll be very important to understand the current events and what's actually happening in these areas for our safety. And up next, we have pirates.
One of the hazards we have to avoid are pirates. They are mainly located in Somalia. One of the ways they earn money is by boarding ships and taking people, especially captains, ransom. This means that they could potentially take our glider and hold it for ransom, or just take it and sell it. In the past, the problem with pirates used to be the fact that no one was doing anything to stop them. The only pirates that had been captured by security forces had been released. Because of this, pirates would have started venturing off the Somali coast and would have started attacking ships in the Indian and Chinese oceans as well. If this had happened, they would have become a much larger, bigger hazard.
However, recently, piracy in the waters off the coast of Western Africa has fallen significantly, generally speaking. Once a major point of piracy, Somalia is now a much safer place to sail due to various U.S.-led campaigns combating the issue. However, in the Gulf of Guinea, piracy is at an all-time high due to its location near valuable resources such as oil, cocoa, and precious metals. Ships transporting these goods are often targets of pirate attacks, which have become increasingly more violent in the past couple of years. This past February alone, 5 major attacks have been reported on cargo ships, with some events including kidnapping, hijacking, theft, and murder.
In other news, bull sharks have been spotted along the coast in subtropical areas. Many are considered highly dangerous. At an average length of 7.5 feet and weighing in at 250 pounds, bull sharks are one of the most versatile sharks known to man. Many have also been spotted in freshwater rivers as well as the coastlines. Their usual food supply ranges from schoolfish to dolphins to even their own kind. Some have even been reported eating domestic dogs that venture too far into the water. Don't let their sluggish movements along the bottom fool you. These sharks can reach speeds of over 11 miles per hour. Attacks can cause serious damage to external and internal structures of the glider. External damage can cause the glider to lose velocity and even control of movements, while internal damage causes leaks in the glider, It will cause it to sink, and the hard work and money put into it will be lost. They are known to attack unprovoked, so gliders beware of coastal zones. You never know what may be dwelling beneath.
Another biological hazard that we must be aware of is a group of fish that are known as remores. This group includes about 8 species of fish that are all characterized by a modified dorsal fin that is flat in appearance. This modified dorsal fin is used to attach to a wide variety of hosts, from sharks and whales to sea turtles and rays. This suction disc has an outer ring of connective tissue that creates a seal between the remora and the host. Remores feed on parasites and leftover food that are found on the host that they are attached to without harming that host. Remores are a hazard to the gliders because they have been known to attach to ships and even scuba divers, meaning that they could potentially attach to the glider. The remora means delay in Latin, but they are only about 34 inches in size. They aren't very large. The issue with remores is that they are found almost anywhere on the globe. They have an extremely wide range of habitats, stretching from the east and west coasts of North and South America, the Caribbean, the coast of Africa, and the Indian Ocean. They mainly need warm habitats and have been shown that they cannot live in standing water. Basically, they live wherever their host lives. Their intricate suction disc makes it possible that they can attach to the glider and slow the glider speed down. When planning the routes of the gliders, the habitats and distribution of remores should be kept in mind to avoid any glider delays.
Gooseneck barnacles are commonly found attached onto the gliders. The barnacles cause several problems, such as increasing friction and reducing the glider speed. To find ways to reduce the possibility of barnacles attaching to gliders or even preventing them from attaching in the first place, we must first understand the behavior. When young gooseneck barnacles hatch, they develop into free-swimming larvae. Once they find a suitable surface, they secrete a glue-like substance to attach themselves onto it. They are attached to hard surfaces by their long stalk that looks like a goose's neck. These barnacles mostly attach themselves to locations where they will receive minimum exposure to sunlight or strong currents, as they are filter feeders. Their diet consists of hydroids, plankton, small clams, and other small organisms. They depend on the tides or currents for the water to go through the opening of its shell. They feed by extending its cirri from its shell into the tide and lasso in food and contract to force it down its mouth. Because gliders are constantly moving, it creates an ideal surface for the gooseneck barnacles. because the constant current into the barnacle shell makes it easy for them to feed. The only way to get the barnacles off is to have them scraped off, which takes time and may damage the glider. Ships cover their hull in toxic paint containing tin or copper, or they even coat it in plastic to prevent the barnacles from attaching and growing onto them. These methods may also be applied to the gliders to greatly reduce the amount of barnacles attaching onto the glider or prevent them from attaching in the first place. Up next we have Wendy and Alyssa talking about trash vortexes.
Let's talk some trash.
Do you know what a gyre is?
It's actually a series of currents that move around an ocean basin, and what can happen is when people throw garbage into the ocean, it can accumulate in the middle of this ocean gyre. So what you have in the middle of the North Pacific and the South Pacific and the North Atlantic Ocean gyre, which is specifically what we're looking at today, you get a big garbage patch.
So it's like a huge accumulation of all the garbage that boats dump into the ocean. All this garbage that people dump from the coast into the ocean ends up in the middle of these gyres, and it accumulates and affects tons of sea life, and today we're talking about how this can affect gliders. So remember to recycle next time you think about throwing your plastic into the ocean. So in 2009 and 2010, we launched 2 gliders, Cook and Drake, and around the latitude of 26 degrees north, they somehow mysteriously disappeared. Considering where that area where they were lost is, there seems to be a garbage patch there where garbage accumulates in the middle of the gyre. And so that could possibly affect the buoyancy, the ability of the glider to change its buoyancy. And inside the glider in the front would be a balloon that inflates and deflates to let water in and out so it can move throughout the water and change its buoyancy. And possibly the accumulation of plastic pieces inside of it may have caused it to sink, or it just caused the balloon to not function properly.
In addition, the amount of plastic in the ocean could possibly produce much more drag and friction, causing the entire glider to slow down it would require more energy and more battery power to move at the same rate that it normally does.
So the plastic in the middle of the ocean is not only bad for marine life, but it could also affect our ability to operate these gliders and to collect information that we need.